The Knicks master plan is already underway, and it involves one player, Giannis Antetokounmpo. According to reports, Knicks President Leon Rose is closely monitoring Giannis' situation in Milwaukee. New York wants to go star hunting, and there's no bigger superstar available than Giannis right now. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. If you're enjoying the content, please hit that subscribe button and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new content. And now, let's get started. The Knicks trade plans. New York wants to go star hunting. Let me make something perfectly clear. As far as trades go, the Knicks will not be making a trade before the start of the season. They made that perfectly clear after they re-signed Mikal Bridges. But that doesn't mean that the Knicks are still not looking to go star hunting. In fact, the Knicks' recent moves gives them enough flexibility to make a trade for a superstar. That superstar being Giannis Antetokounmpo. But before we get to that point, let's first confirm that Giannis' future in Milwaukee is still uncertain. Shout out to ESPN Shams Charania and Newsweek for giving us this following information here. According to them, on Monday, ESPN Shams Charania reported that there's still nothing set in stone about whether Antetokounmpo will stay in Milwaukee. Shams added that despite the Bucks' offseason retooling efforts, the 9-time All-Star is still continuing to evaluate his future after enduring 3 straight first-round playoff exits. So now we have Shams confirming that Giannis' future in Milwaukee is still uncertain. And when it comes to the Knicks, trust and believe. They are still waiting to trade for a superstar. If a star becomes available, they will do everything in their power to trade for that player. And you don't have to take my word for it. Listen to Brian Windhorst, an ESPN NBA insider, and what he has to say on this situation. According to Brian Windhorst, and shout out to Sports Illustrated for breaking down this following information for us. According to them, I think that the Knicks want to walk that line of having a team that is competitive. But then Brian Windhorst added, and having a team that, if a superstar becomes available, they can go out and get him and put him next to Jalen Brunson. And how do you do that? You do that by giving yourself enough flexibility to trade for a superstar if that player becomes available. And the best thing on top of this is that we have recent reports from NBA insider with The Athletic, James L. Edwards, confirming that Knicks President Leon Rose, even as of right now, even after re-signing Mikal Bridges, he is still closely monitoring Giannis Antetokounmpo and his situation in Milwaukee. Let's break down those latest reports as well. Shout out to James L. Edwards with The Athletic for answering this following question on the latest edition of his mailbag. A Knicks fan asked him the following question. It is my understanding that Leon Rose and company have been monitoring Giannis Antetokounmpo's situation in Milwaukee very closely, even before the offseason started. Many around the league believe the Knicks are interested in star hunting. And while that opportunity hasn't popped up yet, I certainly believe it's in the cards if the right situation presents itself. Now, the next question that you probably have is, what is that right situation? What superstar are the Knicks waiting for, and what player are they wanting to trade for? Well, I think James L. Edwards made that perfectly clear in his latest report. That player is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And the right situation, we all know what that situation is, because the Knicks, they have been waiting for that situation for the entire offseason. It's for Giannis to request a trade out of Milwaukee. Once that happens, the Knicks will be the first team in line trying to trade for him and get him on this roster. And going back to the Mikal Bridges extension, and this is where the Knicks master plan comes into play. Did anybody notice anything out of the ordinary when it came to Mikal Bridges and his contract extension? Because I did. I noticed his trade kicker. Let's take a look at that key point in his contract broken down by Yossi Goslin. Shout out to Yossi Goslin of the Third Apron, Cap Guru, for breaking down this following information about Mikal Bridges' contract extension. According to Yossi Goslin, Mikal Bridges' new contract comes with a 5.69% trade kicker if traded before 2028. That kicker is worth $6.17 million, meaning he'd reclaim his lost money if he was dealt before 2028 via trade. Exactly like I just stated. This is where the Knicks master plan seems to kick in. It looks like the Knicks already knew that Giannis would not be available this offseason. That's why they re-signed Mikal Bridges. And this trade kicker, it makes a lot of sense if you know that potentially Giannis could be available at the trade deadline or maybe next offseason, even before 2028. If you have that feeling in your bones and you know in order to make that trade happen, you're going to have to deal Mikal Bridges, this is why you give Bridges this type of contract extension. But there seems to be some confusion regarding Mikal Bridges and when he can actually be traded. And I'm going to love breaking this down because it further proves the point that the Knicks did all of these moves, including re-signing Mikal Bridges to this contract extension in order to set up their master plan. And that master plan is trading for Giannis if and when he becomes available. Shout out to James L. Edwards with The Athletic for breaking down exactly why the Knicks gave Mikal Bridges that contract extension on the day they actually did. According to Edwards, as for the Bridges extension, I don't think it's a coincidence that New York waited this long into the summer to get it done. The Giannis situation has lingered and is continuing to linger somewhat. But people I've talked to are fairly confident that Giannis Antetokounmpo will start next season with Milwaukee. I also don't think it's a coincidence that the Knicks signed Bridges to an extension before August 6th. A player who signs an extension can't be traded for 6 months. If Bridges signs his extension on August 6th or later, he wouldn't be eligible to be moved until next summer, as 6 months from August 6th would take us past the expected February trade deadline. The fact that Bridges signed before then makes him eligible to be traded if the Knicks choose to do that before the trade deadline. I don't believe New York did this because it's without a doubt trading Bridges. I believe Leon Rose and company did this to give themselves some flexibility in the event something happens, like Giannis wanting out of Milwaukee becomes a possibility. This doesn't mean a trade is guaranteed. Just in the future, if a player New York really wants becomes available, a player like Giannis, for instance, then at that point, they'll look at their assets. They might look at Mikal Bridges, and they might think to themselves, this is why I gave Mikal Bridges that contract extension when I did, for this exact moment. New York would have never given Mikal Bridges that extension if they thought Giannis could still be traded this offseason. The fact that Bridges has that contract extension and it was given to him when it was given to him tells you New York is setting up another monster trade in the future, potentially at the trade deadline, and the one player they're looking at is Giannis. And please, don't tell me that the Milwaukee Bucks won't be making any trades at the trade deadline. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Losing tells you a lot about a team. And next season, if the Milwaukee Bucks lose a lot of games, do not make the postseason, maybe they're a play-in team. If all of those things happen, maybe at some point during the season, Giannis makes it perfectly clear. You know what? It's clear. I'm not going to be able to win a championship here this season. And that was my goal. Now, I need you guys to trade me to another team where I can still win a championship in my prime. And maybe one of the teams he names is the New York Knicks. And even the odd makers believe that the Bucks won't be a great regular season team next year. Shout out to channel sponsor FanDuel for breaking down the odds for the Milwaukee Bucks regular season win total. The odds have them at 42.5 wins with an over of -128 and an under of -104. There is a very real possibility that Giannis may not like the direction the Milwaukee Bucks are taking next season. Exactly how Leon Rose and this Knicks front office planned it. If you can't get the superstar you want when you want to get him, then the best thing that you can do is make the moves you need to make while keeping all the cards that you have available and ready if and when that player and superstar becomes available eventually. And the New York Knicks and Leon Rose, they're betting on eventually. They know something that we don't know, especially when it comes to Giannis. And all the moves they've made as of late have been in support of a potential trade in the future for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Leon Rose, even when you think he's out of it, he's always making moves, giving himself the flexibility in the future to make that trade we all know he wants to make and a lot of us want him to make. That trade for Giannis, that trade that will take this Knicks team from here to here. And I want to make sure I make something perfectly clear. Just because the Knicks would be trading for Giannis doesn't mean the Knicks in the process have to gut the team, because there is one thing that can prevent that. And that's Giannis going to Milwaukee and saying, trade me to New York. Trade me to the Knicks. I don't want to go to any other team besides New York. Now, that might be a long shot, but you know what? Under Leon Rose, I've seen the impossible happen. I've seen things happen under Leon Rose that everybody said it could never be done. Now they're saying the exact same thing about Giannis. Only this time, I've just broken down exactly why the Knicks made all the moves they recently made. Because Giannis is their master plan. And if Leon wants Giannis, if Leon has it in his mind that that trade is going to happen, I believe in Leon. And I know it's only a matter of time before this master plan is executed and Giannis Antetokounmpo is a New York Knick. But what about you guys? What do you think about the Knicks and their master plan in trying to get Giannis on this team? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.